Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It is December 14th, but this video is going to be coming out on the 15th because I did not play Enlisted on update day. I am going to be going over the update and doing this video because I do have to do it in advance. I got some stuff going on, but regardless, I wanted to go over this update and talk about it and talk about all the things that are going on in it. But first, I wanted to briefly mention here, guys, KO Fox has said some things. KO Fox has given us 13 words like a Greek oracle of old. Quite ominous. Regarding progression, he said some other things that I'm not really talking about in this video and not going to show because they're not really that relevant. But this is very relevant because this is about progression, which I think is a core issue with the game. And he said, we have plans. It's too early to talk about it. Just know. So aside from this being hilarious and being a great copy pasta, I'm glad that something is being said because yesterday we had no information about this. There wasn't anything that we knew. Like, I didn't know that the developers thought that progression was an issue. I thought the developers had no clue because they didn't tell us anything. They didn't said anything. So knowing that at least something is going on in the background, I'm glad to hear that. Until I see actual concrete information about this, I'm not going to call off anything. I'm not going to continue spending money. I'm not going, not going back to spending money. Maybe that's the better way to say it. Whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. I'm not calling it the boycott, but I'm glad to know that at least something is happening, and it's helpful, right? This is what I want. I just want to know that the developers see what we're saying, and they hear us. And I also wanted to say that I know that KO Fox can't say more. I know that James Grove, and the other helpers are gathering feedback and they are sending stuff. KO Fox, for God's sake, gave us his personal feedback document and got in trouble for doing that. So I hope in my last video I didn't offend any of the helpers that do great jobs and have got our feedback and listened to us and send that feedback up the chain. I'm talking about the developers who actually work on the game and can sit down and actually work on things that are important to the game and are important to us, the community. I know that KO Fox does that. I know that KO Fox and the helpers do a good job. So I wanted to clear that up because I hope I didn't offend any of the helpers because that was not my intent. I know you guys are great. So let's jump into the actual patch notes now, guys. So bunch of new stuff. HMGs, if you have a gunner squad and you put an engineer in that gunner squad, you can now build a heavy machine gun. 50 cals, Dishkas, blap guns, rip people in half. Stalingrad also has a new map that I've heard is fantastic. I'll be trying to get a video out on that as soon as possible. I've heard it's so good. Very highly rated from a lot of people. And then phosphorus grenades, airstrikes, and customization, and remote explosives have been added to all campaigns. So that's pretty cool. Airstrikes we're going to get to in the patch notes here in a little bit. Phosphorus grenades are cool. I don't really mind that. Tankers now also have smoke shells, defensive smoke charges. Mortars have smokes as well, so that's pretty cool. Finally, oh yeah, like I mentioned, Moscow, Normandy, Berlin all have customization. It's still insanely overpriced. That's a pretty big issue in my book. $40 to outfit one squad. Come on, guys. All right. New type of weapon. HMGs. We went over that. Sorry. New weapons. Oh no, I do want to mention this. Premium machine gunner squads without engineers can now have engineers added to them. I find this really weird and interesting because I seem to remember the developers saying on multiple occasions that it is impossible to add premium or add engineers to old machine gun squads and old like premium squads. So if that's the case, then how come we're able to do it? Isn't that weird? Improved mechanism for mounting weapons and bipods. It's still not great, but I'm glad they're working on it because that's something that should be worked on. All right. New weapons are added. Premium, campaign, premium. Oh, sorry. These are not premium. These last two are not. But a bunch of premium stuff, guys. Ugh. All right. New stuff being added. New knife models. Cool, but unnecessary probably, but still cool. New axe models. Cool. New vehicle models, or new models for vehicle repair kits, excuse me. Cool. Tunisia does not have any new campaign customizations because they never made uniforms for them. LOL. No more PTRS in the Pacific. Japanese radio model has been radio model. Yeah, it's a weird thing to say. Has been updated. PPD has a new model. All right, big stuff. Mortars. The heavy mortars now fly faster whenever they shoot. Their effectiveness against armor has gone up, and they now have the same ammo as regular mortars, which doesn't make sense. If they're heavy mortars and they go the same speed as normal mortars and they have the same ammo and they shoot at the same rate, why would I use normal mortars? Give me a reason to use normal mortars. Things in the campaign should not just be strict upgrades to one another. As much as I think the M18 Hellcat is an incredibly stupid thing to add at level 39 in the Normandy campaign, it's still better to have that than to have just a straight upgrade to another vehicle. I don't understand why this was done. All right. AI bombers have been added to all campaigns, but they have an increased interval time, reduced HP of the bombers, and the AI gunner squads, or the AI gunners, have been nerfed. Now, I don't understand, again, why we're nerfing these so hard. Just admit they're bad and rework them. Like, I get you don't want to just remove these things that you coded and you worked on, but come on, guys. Like, just rework them. Bite the bullet. Admit you were wrong about these. We're now going to increase the interval time. They already take 5 minutes. What, they're going to take 10 minutes now? They're going to take 8 minutes? You're going to see them once in a game from both sides at the very beginning. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Rework them to be interesting, to be dynamic, to be cool. Like, they're not any of those things right now. Just bite the bullet, admit that you messed up with these bombing runs, and rework them. Couple other small changes, guys. The big things here being the reduced cooldown time for stationary machine guns. Bunch of vehicles are added. Smoke shells. Tank models have been updated a couple times. Pilot hands are on the aircraft. Cool. Tank shells have ricochets. Pretty cool. Not really necessary, but cool. We added some new locations. There's no new maps except for the one tractor plant map, but they added some like alternate maps and stuff. New sprint animations, unique sound for headshot kills, which is pretty cool. If you guys have played Hell Let Loose or a lot of other games, like when you shoot someone, it's got such a punchy sound to it. I really wish Enlisted had that. So I'm glad they at least added a new sound for headshot, like a little like ping, hopefully, like when you're like hitting someone's head. I don't know. Hell Let Loose does it. It's really nice. Added some new visual effects you guys can look through yourselves. I don't think these are necessary, but I'm glad they're being added, I guess. Different teams, so I guess they're doing something. Replays. You still can't watch custom game replays, so I can't do tournaments. And I really want to do tournaments and show them to you guys. All right. Controls. I think this will help console players. I've heard the console players' controls have gotten a little bit better. And then UI is a little bit different. And then they just added a bunch of smaller things here, guys. None of this is super relevant. If you want to pause and read through this, you totally can. But none of it is really that big of a deal to me. So, yeah, there you go. Bug fixes. Tons of little bug fixes. I'm not going to read through all of these, but I'm glad they are fixing a lot of bugs. But that's it, guys. That is everything throughout this update. I think they did a lot of busy work. I think they looked really busy for this update. I think there's a lot of things that are being added to this update, but there's very few things that have been worked on. There's very few things that I'm seeing from this update, from my perspective, right? I can't see behind the scenes as much as I would really like the devs to reveal things behind the scenes. It doesn't feel like that much is really being added, right? It feels like a lot of stuff is happening, but not that much is like, nothing important is happening. There's not like relevant things happening. Like there's still the issues in the game that have been around for a long time, and some of them are being addressed, right? Improved mechanism for mounting weapons and things like that. But a lot of these problems that are in the game are still problems. And it's just kind of like, I don't really care that my knife has a new model whenever I'm just getting blown up by airstrikes, or I'm getting blown up by plane cycling or gray zone camping. So I'm glad these things are being added, and I think they're cool. And obviously, like, knife models are a different team than people that would handle, like, other stuff. But it just, I don't know. It bugs me. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Let me know your comments down below. Take it easy.